Hey guys, welcome back. I'm the Bento Buster and today we're talking about gyoza. In the previous episode I showed you how to make them, but today I'm going to show you how to cook them. Not one way, not two ways, but thrice. Yes, thrice. That's three ways. Because variety is the spice of life. And each cooking method is slightly different, giving you a different gyoza experience each time. And for each method I'll be using these pork and vegetable gyozas that I picked up from my local supermarket. And for the record, they are the non-frozen type. Now the first method is the most common one, it's the pan-fried method. Add 1 tablespoon of oil to your pan and set it on a low heat, then start adding the gyoza. Now the trick is to keep these dumplings close to each other, so that they're touching. I'm going to arrange mine in a circular formation, and fingers crossed they turn out okay. And there they are in a nice circular pattern. Now I'm going to fry these until the base is slightly brown, then I'm going to add some water to steam them. Now I'm adding about half a cup of water. I'm then going to cover the pan with a lid and let it steam for about 3 minutes. And at this point you can start cooking them over a medium heat. Okay, time's up, so let's remove the lid. Now these gyoza are cooked, but I'm going to still let it cook without the lid so the water evaporates. And it's at this point I'm going to add the secret mixture that's going to make these gyoza super crispy. This mixture contains potato starch and water, and if you don't have that, cornstarch will do just fine. When all of the moisture is boiled off, this mixture is going to leave a nice crispy and lacy crust along the base. And when you think they're ready, it's time to invert that pan and hope for the best and see what you got. And how did we do? Haha, bingo, a gyoza shuriken. That's a ninja throwing star. Okay, see guys, that little trick turned these average gyozas into something that looks with strong quality. Okay, and to make the classic gyoza sauce, I'm using 2 parts soy sauce to 1 part vinegar. And if you want some heat, just add a few drops of ryu. That's a Japanese chili oil, and it's very hot indeed. But it suits gyoza to a T. Now just take a look at that. That is the quintessential classic gyoza. Now this dumpling has a crispy golden brown lacy base with a succulent steamed top. It is gyoza perfection. Now come on guys, you've got to admit that was easy peasy, and you definitely can do this yourself at home. So the next time you're having dumplings, give method 1 a go. Okay guys, and now it's time for method number 2, steamed gyoza. Now of course you can use one of those round bamboo steamers for this, but I'm going to use one of these metal steaming doodads. Now this method is super simple with excellent results. First, place your dumplings into the steamer. And again, that circular formation seems to suit this method the best. Now here's a wee tip, before you put the gyoza in, spray the base of the steamer with some cooking spray, and that should make it non-stick. I hope. Next, add some water and stop when you reach the base of the steamer. Now the cooking times will vary for all of these methods, depending what type of gyoza you're using. Frozen or non-frozen, and as you can see, I'm using the non-frozen type again. When it comes to steaming, you also have to take the thickness of the wrappers into consideration. These dumplings have a thin wrapper, so they're done in about 7 minutes. If the wrapper was thicker or they're frozen, it could take over 10 minutes. So use some common sense and make sure they're fully cooked through before you eat them. Okay guys, and when they're ready, they should look something like this. Okay, so the first ones are nice and crisp, and these ones are kind of soft and floppy. 2 different gyoza experiences, but both very delicious indeed. Now just look at that, these gyoza are really simple, but they look amazing. And these guys taste sensational. And texture-wise, they're a very different gyoza experience from technique number 1. So if you're a big fan of steamed dumplings, then this might be the method for you. Now this is the classic gyoza dipping sauce that I showed you before. And yep, these guys, they taste fabulous. Okay guys, and now it's time for the third and final method. That's deep fried gyoza. Fill your wok a third of the way up with oil, and when the temperature reaches about 170 centigrade, start adding the gyoza. But be careful, that oil is hot. Keep a watchful eye over the gyozas as they're cooking, and give them a nudge from time to time because they do tend to stick. And as I mentioned before, cooking times will vary depending what type of gyoza you're using. These non-frozen type of dumplings are done in about 3 minutes. So depending on what type of dumplings you use, frozen or non-frozen, keep a close eye on them. And when they start to turn golden brown, remove them from the oil and drain them. And as you can see, method number 3 creates some really crunchy brown gyoza. They are so different from the types before. To be honest, they kind of look like taco chips. And trust me, these are also really good. Now because these have been deep fried, the skin is just full of flavour, so you can basically eat these on their own without any sauce. Now that said, these guys really go well with any type of chili sauce. And ta-da! This is pineapple sweet chili sauce that I just happen to have on hand. But hey, these are your dumplings and you're welcome to use whatever sauce you like, but please, 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 don't use ketchup, because Uncle Bento Buster probably will disapprove. And let me just say, that is a very good gyoza. This method creates some seriously crispy and flavorful gyoza, and from top to bottom, these guys are packed full of flavor. So what say you guys, which method do you like the best? Pan fried, steamed, or deep fried? Which method floats your boat? So now armed with these 3 different methods that produce a different type of gyoza each time, the world is your oyster. Or should that be dumpling? Anyway, when it comes to gyoza, variety is the spice of life. And what is that supposed to mean? Haha, I have no idea. Okay guys, it's that time again. Thanks for watching, have fun with your gyoza, and I'll see you next time. And as we say in New Zealand, kia kaha!